from the Scott Williams Show.
The way it is in Dublin.
Now, pharmacists are welcoming the decision to allow the morning after pill to be sold without prescription in pharmacies right across the country. The Irish Medicines Board have approved one brand of emergency contraception for over-the-counter sale. Norlevo is expected to be made available to women or girls of any age, or women or girls, with no stipulation upon the age, or no minimum age, for something around €10. The Irish Pharmacy Union has described the decision as a landmark one for women. But is there some concern regarding the absence of an age limit? Would there be any conditions in relation to how often women can obtain it? Boots, you will be aware, started offering the pill service under a patient group direction earlier this year. But now the necessity for a prescription is gone. Can any pharmacy now sell it without running a patient group direction? Kathy Maher joins. She's a pharmacist and a member of the Executive Committee of the Irish Pharmacy Union. Good evening, Kathy.
Good evening, Scott. How are you?
Am I right about the age?
Well, the age, currently there is no legal restriction on age of use, but pharmacists will use their discretion, their professional judgment as a healthcare professional, and deem when it's appropriate to sell to...
So a pharmacist can refuse to sell it to me?
Absolutely. It will depend on the case-by-case situation. It will depend on the patient that presents in front of you.
Right, and just to tease that out a little more, so it is possible then for someone to go to a pharmacy seeking the morning after pill and not be given it?
Absolutely. It really will depend on any case. Say, for example, the woman had unprotected sex 84 hours ago. That's the drug isn't licensed for use, so it has to be used within 72 hours.
Okay.
If she's on certain prescription medication, there are interactions.
Yeah.
There's loads of cases where the patient may not always be the appropriate patient for it.
And what if she's 15?
If she's 15, the pharmacist at the time will use their judgment and refer on to the GP if necessary.
But will the pharmacist provide the medication or not? You can't say.
I can't say because it's up to each individual pharmacist, but bearing in mind the legal age of consent is 17, we have to bear that in mind. So it really, the pharmacists, they're healthcare professionals, they will use their discretion and their judgment and do it on a case-by-case basis. Right,
so is it a matter of discretion, and is that almost a matter of conscience as well then, Kathy, for somebody who might or might not have a view about it?
Well, it can be both. Now, I know the guidelines, there aren't guidelines just currently, but the pharmacy regulator, the Pharmaceutical Society of Ireland, are currently drafting guidelines, and we expect these to come out within the next, very, very shortly. So there will be guidelines available that will just clarify some of these issues.
Right. Now, this particular one I mentioned, one brand of emergency contraceptives, Norlevo, that's the only one that's approved at the minute, is it?
Yes. There are two brands on the market at the minute, and the company that manufacture Norlevo had approached the IMB, the Irish Medicines Board, to have their status changed from prescription only to pharmacy only, and the other brand didn't.
Now, as I understand it, again, from the newspapers this morning, €10 was the price there or thereabouts. €45 what's been charged by Boots, but that includes a consultation with staff. So does the €10 include a consultation with the healthcare professional on the other side of the counter?
Well, a bit like yourself, Scott, I only saw that €10 in the newspapers. I'm not sure where that has come from. I haven't seen a written statement from any pharmacy.
It's just that Boots have an 18 and over policy in operation at the counter.
That's when they were providing it under a patient group directive, because it was still a prescription-only product at that stage. But now it's a pharmacy product. The prescription-only status has been taken away.
Right.
But in terms of pricing, we can't price fix. Pharmacists can't collude to fix a price. Every pharmacist will decide their own price.
Right, but it's something, it's in and around that sort of money, yeah?
Well, there certainly wouldn't be a GP consultation fee on top of the price of it.
There wouldn't be.
No, but you would have to bear in mind the cost the pharmacist buys it in, not the cost of a consultation. There will be a price on it, but obviously we can't say just yet. Every pharmacist will be up to themselves. And
Norlevo is one of two brands of pill licensed for use in the state. They lodged an application to have the product made available over the counter, and that was obviously a commercial decision after what they'd seen it. But so it is conceivable then, is it not, Kathy, that other products may or may not become available if they apply to have them made available? Is that the way this works?
Absolutely. I mean, there's loads of medicines that we would call to be made available without prescription that are available in most EU countries. Things like aspirin 75 milligram, prevention of heart disease. Things like oral fluconazole, that's used for the treatment of thrush. Chloramphenicol for bacterial eye infections. These are things that are widely used in other jurisdictions without prescription. They've good safety record, and pharmacists are qualified health professionals, so they're equipped and skilled to deal with these requests.
So might it be like, for example, when some of us would visit a pharmacy and look for something with codeine in it, one of those painkillers, and you sort of get you get asked a lot of questions, and I mean it's a serious purchase, and someone speaks to you about it before they will actually sell it to you. So will the morning after be something like that?
Pharmacists will provide a consultation because they have to make sure that the medicine is appropriate for the patient. In terms of emergency contraception, we have to make sure the patient knows what to expect in terms of her next menstrual bleed, if she's taken any other medication, what happens if she vomits after taking the emergency contraception.
Right.
So there does need to be a consultation provided.
So it's not just handed across the counter then? Okay. Thank you very much for that, Kathy. Kathy Maher is a pharmacist. Thanks, Kathy, and member of the Executive Committee of the Irish Pharmacy Union. And 57102 for just 20 cents is our tax if you want to respond to a lot of people in touch with us last time we spoke about this. Now,